Hello everyone and welcome back to Third Age Total War Divide and Conquer with our Ered Luin campaign on the Shattered Alliances map as shown here. Very clear, no alliances or enemies at the start. So, first time we started building up our economy. I must say we have done a very grand spanking good job to start with. And we have taken Garth-Helagoth, and we are on our way to Perth and Lun as prepare to attack Captain Hylian and move down into the settlement of Perth and Lun. Making good money. Just have to move our spy Fundin. And as you can see, Angmar has already taken Oilad, which puts us deep into trouble if they think they are strong enough to contest us. Which is very possible, and they are also moving upon Barketa. Now, in the normal campaign of this, I would go straight into Oilad before Angmar has a chance to claim Barketa to keep them in a line and only having to fight in one settlement and avoiding potential standoffs in several locations, because then I'd have to split off my armies and my strength in total would be halved or quartered, etc., etc., depending on how many fronts I'd have to fight on. So, I believe we're now at the end turn. Oh yes, we're moving our diplomat over to the chill mountains of Angmar, which have a permanent, mystifying cold to them. Courtesy of version 3, if I'm not mistaken, which is going to be expanded even further, courtesy of version 5, if the developer diaries state it true. I say we've done quite well so far to begin with. Bit of a slow start, I'll admit, and only one battle in Garth-Helagoth. But we'll get at least one more battle out of today's video, depending on how long I want to make it. Because the first one was an hour, and that's fine. But, the fact it got cut in half made it a bitch to edit because it took over an hour and a half. So, yeah, not sure how long this video will be. Hopefully I can make it as long as the other. Because, let's face it, an hour of content is better than half an hour of content. But if only a half an hour of the content is being watched, then it's better to stick to half an hour of content. Anyway, we've got the pig farm in Fahangathol. And in Garth-Helagoth we are on our way to building the pipe hall, so Azagal, our latest adoptee, can be free upkeep in Garth-Helagoth. And currently Fahangathol is the only region, I believe, which we do not have a building currently being built. So we will build a simple ironmongers. Cheap, efficient, but wait. If we're getting 2,000, I'm assuming next turn, because we'll be fighting Hylian this turn before we can attack Perth and Lun. We'll then run out of movement range before we can get there. Is it worth considering saving up money for next, because we have an extra 2,000 next turn? We could pay for the Master Stoneworkers Hall at Foreign's Halls, but then both Fahangathol and Gehuzanar would have no buildings being built. Same with Garth-Helagoth. So maybe don't go into big buildings yet. Stick to the smaller buildings. Maybe I'm just going for the practice range for the fact it's cheaper and it gives us more units to recruit. Although, if I was to focus on my military capacity, I'd want it being done in Fahangathol. Because, one, the buildings, well, our units will recruit at a faster rate, because that's how it works with strongholds compared to cities. Cities are economic strong points. Cities, citadels, fortresses, the castle lines are more militarily focused, as they also give, well, militia troops if you have militia troops, which we do not. Anyway, let's quit dilly-dallying and let's fight Captain Hylian, who has 3 bandits and Privateer Axemen, a very dangerous unit. All very strike infantry-esque. It is going to be a tough one, but I believe we can do it. And I just noticed Clan Herald Grain's tunic pierces through his beard. Very strange indeed. I mean, it's not impossible. You could just put the tunic over them. Ah, what's the point? I'm trying to make it sound logical. It is not logical. Let's get ready to fight. Same position as last time is what I want to do. But I know that AI will instantly run for the hills because our army is slightly stronger than theirs. If the AI believes that the balance of power is not in their favour, they will never stand and fight. That is the logic of Med 2's AI. Until they are themselves struck. So we just have to hope that our crossbows can shoot at them, and if not, we'll trust our cavalry can run them down. Ah, they're too far away. I won't disable fire at will, but are there any hills we can take advantage of here? The slightest incline here. If we stand here, they won't get the hill. We will get the hill. They won't get the hill. I want to put both my crossbow units in the centre here. The Dwarven Travellers off to the side. Doesn't really matter, but as long as they're to the left or right. Because I want my pikemen to stand here and here, so there's a slight gap so they can shoot through, again like last time. But this time I'm going to have the labourers sitting slightly closer to the pikemen so that they can rush into anything that comes in here. So very similar to a bridge battle standpoint. You would have your units stand on both sides of the bridges, locking down any movement that comes through, while your units like crossbows, which are most effective, or just any ranged unit, stands right in the centre and just punishes the enemy for standing in a very poor position. Because bridge battles, even though this is a very early Total War game, bridge battles on this were so poorly done. Because one, units can't actually rest on the bridges properly. They have to go either on one side or the other. They can't just stand aside. Now, we doing that hasn't really provoked them. But this next move might. As long as we're away from the privateers, we are fine. Because these merchant cavalry will melt away to those privateers. So as long as they stick to keeping away from me, I do not care. If we're just going to charge right into the flanks of these bandits as they turn around to meet their inevitable end. These foolish bandits of Numeriador fall before our might. But these are not like the woodland hunters we fought last time. Oh no. They can fight back. We only killed 40 of each battalion compared to hundreds. Still, 12% of the army is not bad, and this should be enough of a catalyst to bring our enemy forward. And indeed it does. Here they come. You may be wondering why I'm speaking a bit more narrator-like, because this is making me go back to the times when I was still doing Divide and Conquer more regularly on the channel, and I had a very narrator-esque voice while doing it. So I've decided to go back to that. Any comments on it? Just state them out loud. I do not care if you like it or hate it. I'm just doing it because I enjoy it. And it's a lot less stressful at this point in the game, so I'm enjoying the feeling while it lasts, because it will not last long. And already our cavalry are already starting to be winded, proving that they are not elite battalions of cavalry like the ones of the Swan Knights of Dol Amroth, or even our closer allies, or potential enemies, the Royal Arthurdane Knights of the Dunedain. Shoot down those privateers, and the hordes of bandits will follow in their wake.
The battle is very much in our favor.
As we remain true and steadfast, victory will be ours. I always felt like when I was doing the Erebor campaign, when I copied off the narrator, I would sound a bit like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I still felt it. I still felt it just doing it right then and there. And also, I never understood why, but these are listed as Elven Rebels. I guess it's because Numeriador was a... I don't even know. I wish I could pretend that I knew, but I don't. I mean, our pikemen should hold out for now, although we should definitely move them around a bit. Because we have more bandits coming our way, and we cannot give them an inch. If we grow lax in our capabilities for even a moment, they will strike us down without hesitation. Like right now. Move, my merchant cavalry, move. I paid you to work, not to die. Focus on those bandits. Yeah, you moved around because you knew I was going to strike you. I knew you were going to do that. As for these bandits, I knew they were going to do that. Oh, look at him fall. In full Calaquendi Lord armor as well. Captain Hylian has fallen. The only elf rebel general you will ever see because they do not exist. Called upon the stubbornness of the dwarves, and there will be no equal to our might. And they have lost half their men. They stand no chance. As the pikes move forward, striking with ease against the bandits, who are very poorly armed and armoured for this occasion. I have to move these out of that formation now to charge back. Scouts are not good in combat. The Broadbeam Wardens are, but I don't want to have to put them into combat if I can avoid it. And let's charge them into these bandits. They should start routing soon enough. All those pikemen are taking heavy casualties, and it's over. And we don't need to worry about anything else, because whenever a bandit army is, or bandits or rebel army is defeated, they will always disapparate, which means disappear, dead forever. We lost quite a few pikemen there. It's a little annoying, but we could return to Foreign's Halls after claiming Perthenlun to replenish our forces, which I might very well do. Because I'm not sure if this has changed, but I believe the replenishment of units doesn't reduce the cap on, well, not reduce the cap, doesn't reduce the recruit time of that specific unit by a substantial amount compared to what it used to. So retraining units is actually very important to do. It's very valuable and has very few downsides other than it costing you money to do it, and you're then going to be paying more money for the troops you are bringing back to life. Basically, it is definitely a double-edged sword going for that. But we have won a proud victory, and with every victory we get more spoils of war. And I am going to stand back for a second, build another tower so we have better vision of the world around us, and prepare to engage upon Perthenlun, which, as you can see, even though it says it's an elven rebel city, it is owned by vicious warg riders. This cannot be left to pass. No warg can settle close within our settlements, or near our hearts and home. So, Captain Swibney, with his army of mixed package units, is fighting an army very similar to the one we had to face earlier. 2 units of woodland hunters, the bandits, and sellswords, which will put them straight into the kindled arms of the men of Arthedain, the northern Dunedain clansmen, kinsmen, peoples, Menamina. Yeah. Oh, I do enjoy making this, having some fun with this kind of stuff. It is fun. So, what is next? We do have more money, so we could buy something else. Gehuzanar is in need of building up its culture. With only 33, we can't even get the Firebeard warriors from our town guard. Truly a shameful act. We should definitely get the brewery next turn. With 2,555 in income in our future, what else could we build? We could build the pipe hall to increase the number of free upkeep slots we can get in Fahamgafol for the ability to hold more troops in case of Angmar's inevitable rise against us. There's no denying it. They will attack us. They do not particularly like us. Or I could get the Ironmongers and prepare some low-level dwarven troops, which is better than Angmar low-level troops, for war. The question yet remains, What is best? I think the Ironmongers is best for now. We're not going to be saving any extra money because we've not got an army building up in Thahangafol. We have a small army prepared in Foreign's Halls, which we could move up to Thahangafol, which currently has only 2 free upkeep. We could move up the Firebeard Warriors, or a unit of Ered Luin Militia. And soon Garth Helagoth will be saving us an extra 320 turn thanks to Azaghal coming free upkeep with the Pipe Hall. Then we should probably get the Pig Farm, which will leave us with 1,000 in coin, which will turn into 3,000 in coin, the claiming of Lun. But then half that income will be split upon other peoples. We should get another diplomat. Now, we've moved 1 diplomat up north to speak with the peoples of the mountains and the vales. We should also move down south into Eriador and try and commune with the peoples that reside there. But for now, let us end the turn again and pray there are no crashes. Pray to Almighty Eru there are no game crashes here today. We've had 1 swift victory. We want another swift victory with no error caused to this computer at hand. If this gets annoying, just say. I will not do it anymore. I'll try. I'm just in the mood right now. I've had a raspberry jam donut, a good drink, and watching some Castlevania. You can't beat a good bit of anime every now and again. And before some of you say, oh my god, he's an anime fan. Oh my god, he's so bad. Surely there's something that you watch or have or do that I would find distasteful as well. It's not. It always goes both ways. You should think of it like that. And look at that. Nar has an architect. Construction cost minus 10%. So currently, Nar has how many things that now give him construction cost reduction? None of his equipment would do any of that. An architect, 10% construction cost reduction. We could have that put onto our clan lord, Gore, if he does not already have one. He has a builder. So we had a builder and an architect. Am I smelling cheese? Lactose intolerant people better get out of the room. So currently, Gore can give minus 15%. Or can he give even more? Proven commander, fair fighter, well supplied, safe lands, political promise, governor of province, governor's duties, reasonable ruler. No, he does not have any other traits to speak of that give him construction cost reduction. So a total of 15% construction cost reduction currently. Can go up by an extra 10% with Nar's architect retinue given over to the clan lord. But will I do it? Should I do it? If you want to see it, just say, I will do it. And who is Nuris? It said Nuris, right? Oh, Nuris is our... Nuris is our new diplomat. That's right. I thought I thought there was a name I didn't recognise. It says charge for Lun. And Nuris, I want you going down straight south to find the Wildmen of Enedwaith. And I'm sure many of you who are watching this video has also seen Arakir Galadurfan's video on the Wildmen and their, well, just any of his videos currently, and stating that the Wildmen are currently some of the most disliked factions. And by the Wildmen, I mean Dunland, Enedwaith, Anduin, and Cand. Factions that have no real development of their settlements other than large cities and keeps, which are poor. Even orcs have better construction than they do. Granted, the large encampments are very poorly walled and very easy to take with the right army, but at least they can get those levels up. There's better buildings and such and such and such, while others cannot. So whatever they're going to do with them, I do not know, but I do speculate that, well, mainly, is going to be that they can build maybe cities, not potentially large cities, or huge, large cities. Maybe that's restricted to other certain factions, or maybe it comes applicable through certain quests. Yeah, capable of doing certain things. Because let's face it, not the Edain team. I'm too used to saying the Edain team. The DaC team have done a lot of amazing improvements to DaC since I started playing back before even version 1 came out, and that was a good few years now. And I must say, gung ho to them. They keep bringing out great ideas on how to keep making their mod that they have worked due diligence for even better. Granted, in version 3, I had a few doubts. There were a few things that made some of the factions that I prefer to play more often very difficult. Anyway, let's start this battle. Because this battle, I have actually done a bit of research on how some of these battles in the beginning will go. And I must say, this one is quite hilarious. Oh yeah, do not fire at will. Do not fire at will. Fire when I command, and only when I command. Fire when I command, and only when I command. You think, oh no, the Warg Rides are coming straight out. This isn't right. The AI doesn't normally do that. This is a glitch. This is a bug. Someone do something. Just watch. Just watch. And observe. The pathetic fallacy that is, unfortunately, AI's constrictions to their settlement confinements. As you can see, they are not moving forward. I have my units so close to them that they could just charge in and strike them down. The only problem is, they don't know how. They're not the attackers. They're not used to this kind of situation. They're an AI. An AI doesn't have such tricks these tricks that a normal player would have. Instead, they just stand there. My great oak trees. Stalwarts, and yet somehow annoying to some. Specifically us dwarves. I prefer to cut down the oak tree than preserve it. But thank God I turned down the sound, because these guys, the Wargs, I must say, love the new models, nothing wrong with that, but the fact that they constantly howl over and over and over again is to the point where it drives you to the edge of insanity. Which, to be fair, I've already crossed, so no new border for me. But yeah, thank goodness I learnt how to turn on the sound on these guys, because they would drive anyone to insanity. Having to listen to their every minute, because not even every minute, every second. And you would do everything in your power to kill these wogs. Not because they're a dangerous threat, but because you just wanted the sound to stop. Oh, I have missed this. I have. And I said about every game I've come back to, or every mod I've come back to. But I have missed this. I have missed just commentating and knowing that people will actually watch this. Because I do believe I do a good job. I don't believe I do the best job. There are obviously people that are going to be better than you. Maybe not as a certain faction. Maybe just better, or maybe better all around to their opinion. But there are some things that some people are generally better at, and some things that people generally aren't better at. For me, finding ways to take minimal casualties and live the elitist lifestyle in games is the way I prefer. Because I prefer quality over quantity, and that is very obvious by my love of the Enlargers faction in the Edain mod, for example. Or even in Age of the Ring, when you just can go straight into Elven units with Yavanna's blessings, just give all your orchards lots of resources per tick, Oh, it's fun. It's all fun and games, which is why it's a game. Because it is fun. If a game was not fun, it would not be a game. Something you learn in games technology after 2 years of learning it. Well, lies dead. I'm not speaking about Wildman. For some reason, this guy, or whichever guy it was had the captain sprite for a Wildman of Anduin. Not sure if that was encoded in because yes, but I remember before the changes to the settlement defense. Yeah, can you hear those wild cries? Over and over and over again. And it's not a power. That is just what they do. You cannot stop it, even if you try. The only way you can stop it is by killing them all. And I also can't deny, after this battle is won, I have no idea what this campaign will have in store for us. I have no idea. Will it be an easy? Will it be an easy game? Will it be difficult? I do not know. Obviously, you can take other YouTubers' content into consideration. I personally would not, compared to mine. Not saying mine's better or worse. I'm just saying that my certain playstyle is different to other YouTubers. Because if you try to copy a certain playstyle or a certain campaign in a Total War setting, you will always find that your campaign, even though at the beginning it may be similar, like building the same buildings, moving the units the same way, declaring war, etc., 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 you'll always find small changes, like certain regions being taken before others. Because in my original test of this, Angmar never took Oilad. They lost all their army to the garrison troops, and the garrison actually survived. And they didn't take it until about turn 25, which gave us another 10 turns of no potential enemies on our borders. Look at that, 50% already killed just from our archers. Beautiful. Let the craws have his miserable bones, and let our swords have his men. Crossbows ready, General. And fire! We're all being marksmen cleaning up the chaff. And to be fair, in some cases they probably should have been the first to shoot. I prefer to leave the best for last. Something I should probably not do more of in the future. Should definitely have these guys doing the killing, and having our slightly more numerous archers do the killing of what's left over. Because even though these have higher accuracy, more damage and range, they are still only crossbows and only one unit. They can't kill them all. They can kill most, but they cannot kill all. So our merchant cavalry over to the sides. Prepare to strike them down. Have our labourers come through this side as well. And when our clan herald runs out of ammo, we charge forward with the stubbornness of the dwarves at our side. And they all know and fear us. And don't worry, I don't plan to cheese all sieges like this. Mainly because you can't actually cheese sieges in Med 2 very much, unless you go full on to siege equipment, because the towers in this game have been significantly improved since the last version of the mod. And I should know, because when you try to take Umbars of the Arduinium, it is better to auto-resolve than to manually resolve it, because if you do, you will lose half your army to the towers alone, because you will climb up walls with ladders, then a tower will cut a ladder in half with its piercing flaming bolts, and then all the units that were standing upon that ladder, which could be a total of 30 men, I have tested this, will plummet to their death. Or even worse, with a siege tower, you have all your units, the siege tower starts burning, you can't get them out in time, and that whole unit suddenly vanquishes just like that. It's a sad affair. It is a sad affair. But it's one that's necessary because, let's face it, defending sieges or attacking settlements was never... It was a strong point of Med 2, but it definitely wasn't... It's definitely not as it's old. It's old compared to what it is now. Although, to be fair, Total Warhammer sieges are very difficult parentheses of sieges to compare them to, because they are themselves incredibly dumb. But that's mainly because of monstrous units, flying units, magic, and the walls themselves being a bit half the time. But yeah, we might even have to charge in. Grain might just have what it takes to kill the last of them off before we even have to charge in. Wouldn't that be a fine chance? But look at the bodies, blood-soaked and still lay dying on the ground, covering the city centre. But these orcs do not fight with courage in their heart. They fight with cowardice. The only reason they are still alive is because the city centre gives them immunity to not public order, to their leadership, their morale. They suffer no penalties to morale while they sit inside that centre. A thing I quite hate about this mod in particular compared to Total Warhammer. Because at least in the city centre they won't, they'll at least still suffer from the army loss penalty in time. But oh well, what can you do? I know what I can do. Sound the charge, move them in, kill them all. Let there be none left standing.
The battle is very much in our favour. If we remain, this is a clear victory.
Against bandits and rebels, there can be no honour in killing them, nor fighting them proudly. The only glory we gain is from victory. And victory we have, as we see an emissary that would be talking to one of the dwarven nations, if I'm not mistaken. Not Erebor. I would say this was an emissary coming to the Iron Hills. I do not know. I do not know what this is meant to be, but that looks like a banner of the Red Eye, and that looks like a Nazgul, or at least a Black Numenorian, approaching a dwarven stronghold, as it is clearly in the mountains, and dwarves are known for their architectural glory in the mountainsides. Second battle done, and we are over half an hour in. Do I want to stop now? Because it's only really been 2 turns. We've only had really 2 turns. Ugh. I will massacre the population again, because I do not want to have public order problems. And public order problems are a pain in the ass. We have an extra 2,000 in our coffers, and we can start paying for some new equipment. Oh, I have another sculptor here as well. Oh, that's a sculptor. Gives a quality and unrest. Seal of the Blue Mountains. There's logistics, siege expert, Iron Fisted. I don't know what he's got in his. No, I'm going to leave that there. Going to keep that little cabin shut. No point in moving out. Or maybe there is. Yeah, it's only an extra 100. Well, I should have done that first. Should have done something with them first, because that would have made things cheaper. Oh well, you live, you learn. I'm going to get dirt paths here, because the more trade we can get with our allies, the better. It may not be more trade initially for Perth and Lun, but it will be more trade for Khazad-Ai-Menu, and it will be more trade for our faction overall with our allies, the Grey Havens of Linden and the Halls of Imladris. We can also get mines in Perth and Lun, which give more than Khazad-Ai-Menu. Which is why I stated earlier why Khazad-Ai's mines are not incredibly important, because they are not as valuable as other mines. However, I also want to build something in Foreign's Halls just to have them do something, because the Steelmongers is so cheap, and it gives us an extra recruitment slot for our dwarf labourers to reside in until we need them. Or we could also get the markets, which is, without a doubt, more money. Extra 82, an extra 50, so that's 132, an extra 8, 140, an extra 140. That pays for itself in 13 turns, or 12 turns. It pays for itself very quickly. Yes, yes. Baridoniac still remains on the siege. Will the rebels come up to fight it, or will they simply fall to the Angmarim? I hope it's the former and not the latter, because I need the Angmarim to take at least some damage. I don't want them being too strong, because soon they're going to be able to take Oskalon, and I'm going to have to move up and do stuff, and I don't want to have to split my army up and like that. That means I have to get a second general up, and I don't want a second general up. Na is finding a Khazad-Ai. He's giving us really good money right now, and I mean really good money. He's giving us basically 400 coin just by having him in here, because he saves us 320 for him being free upkeep. And Azagal is doing just as well too, because he's giving us an extra 100 while in Garth Helgoth. So what else is there to do? Well, we have no other missions. We have no more money. We do have a diplomat moving down to Ered Luin, Ian territory. We have some more militia. We could start our invasion upon Angmar before they take Barketa, but we might as well see if they actually take Barketa or not before I make any decisive decision, and we might even give it a little bit of a break, see what you people want to say about the campaign currently, if you're enjoying it or not, and then when we come back we can, from your offered suggestions, we can move forward. But first, we must wait. Did the Angmarim strike, or will Barketa strike back? Oh, glorious battle was brought upon Barketa, and the men of Angmar failed to claim the land. We must now speak to the Orcs of Gundabad for even more military units. Even though we have deep hatred for these dwarves for stealing our ancestral homes, we will get our prize. We must just bide our time. We need not be at war with everyone to begin with. We need only wait and listen. For the earth will tell us the way for which we must strike down our opponents into the fiery pits of hell. Anyway, what should we do now? Now I've done my little bit of narration. Fahangathol is not currently building anything. Khazad-Ai is. Foreign Halls is. And so is Perth and Lun. Let's have Clan Harold Grain move down as far as he can until he reaches the borders of our land of Numeliador. And we have, as we see the grey havens on the horizon, their watchtower blissfully erected into the sky to view all from a good far distance. We should prepare our attack now. I shall prepare my Ered Luin militia to strike out, as even though they are free upkeep currently, I will soon get more units of them from our trading with the hated Gundabad Orc scum. My spy Fundin needs to find Oskalon, and fast. Here we go. They have another army similar to that of what resided within Garth Helgoth. Do we go for it? Do we strike now and then risk our bets with the Dunedain? Will they hate us, or will we just manage to survive without needing to worry about them? I'll wait a little bit longer on that. We're making good money. We're making nearly 2,000 a turn currently. For Hamgafol, what do I want from you? Definitely need to build something. Just what? What? Do I want the Ered Luin scouts to start being recruited? More crossbows never hurt anyone, other than the ones I'm sticking the bolts with. Don't need more population growth currently, as this is not meant to be an economic powerhouse. Our taxes are very light. Our money comes from trade and mining, currently from Fahamgathol. We could prepare to build the mining network, but it'd be pointless to be spending it all at full cost. It's a waste of good money. We need to save up as much money as possible, if that is indeed possible. Khazad-Ai does not have a stone ironmongers yet, so I can't reside a unit of labourers so Nar can move out and give his extra retinue to Gore. And to be fair, I don't think I need to. I think we are going to have Fahamgathol get the practice range. Next time we'll build the dirt paths in Perth and Lun to improve our trade and movement through the land, as Perth and Lun is a very large region. Granted, not one I want to move through often, but even so, getting that trade increase early on will just pave the way to even greater wealth in the future. So where's my other diplomat? How is he doing? We're going to actually have him do a small detour. Oh, he's going that way anyway. To say hello to the ruined city, or mine, of Buz-Radum, where I personally want to strike at next. Even though we won't have any true strength to protect it, and if it could leave us threatened by Enedwife, I believe it is imperative for our lore for this campaign, we at least try to take Buz-Radum. But first I must know what I am facing against. For to know thy enemy is to beat thy enemy in war. But for now, I believe we shall call it an end to the turn. Although I should definitely be preparing to wrap this part up. Before long, it's going to start taking longer to stop. Because I'll get more invested into the battles, the campaign, and then I'll forget, oh, I've just done a 2-hour video when I could have split into 2. Oh no, the humanity, or the dwarfhood. Oh, I love having fun with this. Should I take Oskalon is the true question. First, Dol Amroth expands. As was seen last turn, they had already declared war upon Gondor, so they are claiming the lands belonging to the White City, to the Silver Swan. And Erebor have declared war upon Dale. Dale has only just recently been rebuilt after many long years of strife and hardship. The dwarves of Erebor now prepare to strike them down. Cruel, heartless tyrants. Truly they are. Makes me admire them almost. Almost. But we must have view of the land. As also Eastern Numeliad. Oh, this is all Eastern Numeliad. Oh, god damn. But also there's one other region I wish to claim. Emin Beled. But it also puts me at odds with the Shire folk, and I would rather avoid any potential war victims in my stead, if possible. So I'm going to do what I said I would do at the beginning of this video. I'm going to move these pikemen back to Foreigners Hall so they can be retrained properly at the hands of our greatest smiths. Although they may not get the proper armor upgrades, as I would require iron plating for their next upgrade, which is, I believe, tier 3, it is still something worth considering. So to see what exactly resides within Oskalon. 4 bandits, 2 wooden hunters, and sellswords. Approximately the same amount of strength that resided within Barketta. Although that power has long since disappeared from this world. Can't expand that much further. Only problem with being a dwarf, trying to set watchtowers upon the land so you can see everything that your land has to offer you, is a bit problematic, because you are very slow. But we will manage. For now, our troops may rest. They have earned this reprieve from battle. And I will end the turn one more time, speaking first to the orcs of Gundabad. The foul snow orcs deserve no mercy in speechcraft. They will pay pricely for our information our information to them, but only enough that they would accept, not that they would decline. And with that, we have more. We now have dwarven labourers. So now we only get dwarven labourers from Foreigners Halls, thanks to, well, unfortunately, thanks to building the steel workers and such. So we can now get labourers, which are our basic military troop. So I was a bit surprised, disappointed at the same time, but you can't always get your best unit. If we're always gonna get our best unit, then there would be no challenge left to the campaign. They've even pushed out into Earlstone and built the mines, and their king Mazog resides there with his Pealorux, a poor imitation of our troops, but also reside within Mount Gundabad, another very special general who dares to wield the armor of our ancestors, the Orc Avengers. Unfortunately, they do not quite assemble like the Avengers of Marvel, but nah, they can't all be perfect. We'll end the turn one more time before we call it an end to the video, and this is a promise this time. Last time, I'm not going through this again, because otherwise I will not stop. I feel like it's been an hour already. It's been very close to an hour. I should get ready to end this, because my computer is currently at 35 degrees. I do not want it to blow up. Although, to be fair, half of that could just be the heat. The extreme heat. I was promised rain today, and there has been no rain all day, and it is currently 5:30. I should prepare my tea soon. Come on, come on, come on. You saw that too, didn't you? Those small patches coming out of nowhere. I believe that's meant to show like small villages being built in the region to... Oh, look at these wars. The remnants of Angmar at the war with goblins, Dogwaldor's at war with Anduin Vale, that's obvious, and so is Kingdom of Gondor against Mordor. This always happens. I'm happy about the first one though, because now Angmar is stuck in one place, so we can prepare to beat the living shit out of them. Oh, I do love a good song and dance every now and again. Okay, before we end, and this is a promise, we are ending, but I just want to get a few things done so I don't forget when I accidentally press the end turn button before checking I've done everything. Khazad-Ai-Menu and Helagoth have buildings that could be built, and we will eventually get to ports, because they are good population growth buildings, even for the dwarves. However, currently, us building ports, if we don't build them in our capital, if we don't focus them in the capital, for example, then they are not worth getting. Oh, so it's only in keeps they get... Oh! Oh! So with ports in the castle line, you can actually get population growth. Oh! My voice keeps getting higher. And keeps cracking. I've kind of lost it now. So, we can get the pub, which also improves our happiness. We're going to turn this up one level, because the pub record is still pretty good. But I think now it's time to get the ironmongers. Or should I get another... We're going to get close to 4,000 next turn, and 2 more regions of ours are going to have their buildings constructed. And I'm about to move these pikemen back so they can be... Oh, come on. Really? 1 point? You little buggers. Anyway, we have time. Let's take that time to prepare our attack, our plan of attack, and I think our plan of attack will be Buzz-Radoom. Now that I know that Angmar is now focusing on the southern east regions of their territory against the goblins, we have no worries. We have no reason to worry about the men of Angmar for now. Once they start pushing out through Barketta into Osgelon, then we should be afraid. But for now, I am prepared to send all my forces down into Buzz-Radoom to reclaim the lost, famed city of the dwarves. So until next time, everyone, I hope you've all enjoyed my little narration voice that I've put on for this episode and for future episodes to come. And until next time, ta-ta for now.